Hi again everyone. Today's session is going to form part of that playlist series of modified Tai Chi. I'll put a link above and down below in the description. And we are going to focus today on our knees. So whether you suffer from arthritis in the knees, or you have painful knee joint, you're nursing a knee injury, or you've heard that Tai Chi is a really effective exercise when you have painful knees, then this session is for you. We're going to concentrate on alignment and how we can move in a safe manner and protect the knee joint. So adapting and modifying our Tai Chi stances and movements so that we can practice safely and we don't want to aggravate any pain. When you have got a painful joint like our knee joint, it's really important to listen to your own body. So you will know your pain threshold. You will know the range of motion that you have before you feel that pain. And it's really important to focus your mind on that, to listen to your body at all times whilst you're practicing. And if something doesn't feel right or you feel pain, then do stop. Make sure that it suits your body. We're all different and we need to move within our limitations. That said, one of the most powerful and valuable tools that we have available to us is visualization. And so while we practice Tai Chi, what we can do is imagine that our movement is much bigger, much wider, much deeper, much higher than we are maybe physically capable of doing right now. And that imagination, that visualization of a stretch or a movement where we're training our brain to feel like it's moving further than it is, really does help our body to visualize that that is the range of motion that we actually have. So we're going to obviously work most of the lower body today as we are focusing on those knees. And what I'd like you to start off with is our parallel stance, feet hip width apart. And the first thing I want you to focus on is where your body weight is distributed between the 2 feet. So we want our feet to have 50% of the weight in each foot, and really feel that floor underneath you. Sink your weight down, feel the energy and the connection to the earth and the ground below you. And then really feel good posture and good alignment, natural and neutral stance here. I'm just going to place my hands on my hips, and all I'm going to do is just bend my knees ever so slightly, almost just taking them soft and then bringing them back up to standing position straight. Now I don't want you to ever lock your joints out, so don't pull the knees to attention. Keep them straight but soft whilst we're standing, and then bend, just sinking down into the floor. Very small movement to begin with. You can close your eyes if you like, so you can really focus on the movement, nice and gentle. Bringing it back up to standing. So I hope you can see that I am actually bending my knees and I'm bringing them back up to standing. So I'm going to take it a little bit deeper this time. So do listen to your body and make sure these knee bends suit you. And let's take it again, down. So this is like a mini horse stance. And if ever you're in a Tai Chi class and they're saying horse stance, you can always do this as an alternative. So it's a smaller stance. The feet are closer together than we would normally in horse stance. And obviously the knee bend is shallower, making sure that the knees travel in the direction of the toes. So we don't want to splay the knees outwards, and we don't want to knock the knees inwards. We want them to be in a perfect straight line. And if you keep this movement small and gradually make the knee bend deeper, you will be able to see that your knees travel in the direction of our toes. So keep it here. Let's take it a little bit deeper and bringing it back up. And visualize that deeper knee bend, like we're really going low, and then bringing it back up. Think about your posture, calm breathing, and bringing it back up. Let's do a couple more here. So bending the knees and bringing them up to our straight position and bending again and bringing them up to our straight position. We either take our feet slightly wider so we can sink into a deeper horse stance, but again, let's take it gradual. So very important now to have a strong thigh position. So my knees are traveling in the direction of the toes, but my body weight is still sinking into the floor. I want my heels and all of my foot and my toes firmly on the floor. So I'm 50% of weight in either foot. I'm lifting up here. Okay, let's go again. So taking it down nice and slowly and bringing it back up. So make sure the knees are pointing in the direction of your toes and just go to wherever suits you best. With that knee bend, visualize it deeper. And bringing it back up. And let's go again, taking it down. So gradually take it further if you like, or just stick to wherever suits you. And still think about that posture, stretching up through the crown. So we're really modifying this horse stance now. So it's a much smaller version that suits us better. Let's do one more here. And then I'd like you to step the feet together. So now we're going to step out to our parallel stance and into that mini horse stance, alternating side to side. So if we breathe in, we're going to breathe out. We're going to sink our weight into one foot here. So feel the weight moving slowly into that leg, and then we can peel this foot off nice and slowly. We're going to step it to the side. It doesn't have to come off the floor again, so that you feel balanced and you're not overloading this knee. And then we're going to place it down and just sink into our horse stance. And important again to get the alignment of the knees and to get the body weight 50-50 between the legs. And then we're going to just transfer the weight back to the centre and bringing the foot in. Let's do that on the other side. So sinking the weight into our leg here, we can peel the other foot off, placing it to the side, transfer the weight into our horse stance or mini horse stance, and then we're going to transfer it back into the middle and step. Let's go again. Sink down just as far as you can. And just so that we've got enough weight here so that we can peel that foot off and place it into our horse stance. Like I say, it doesn't have to be a big movement. We're still using our legs and we're starting to develop that strength as well with these very simple exercises. And that strength will help protect our knees. Let's go again, nice and slowly, gradually increasing the depth of that knee bend if it suits you, and then bringing it back. And it's little and often sometimes with these movements. So if you're practicing, just a little often practice will help develop that strength over time. The main thing is we want to listen to our body so we don't injure ourselves or aggravate any pain in our knees. So I can go a little bit deeper. And final time. So you can always check and look at your position and make sure it's good, and then hopefully you'll train your body, muscle memory. While you're in your class, it will position yourself safely and comfortably. Okay, so that's our mini horse stance, an alternative to our horse stance, which would be a lot wider with the legs and a lot deeper with the knee bend. We're going to move on to our bow stance. So I'm going to turn side on for this. Now, we always put our back foot in the bow stance to a 45-degree angle. Now, do this, but you can keep it a shallower angle if it suits you. The main thing is to try and aim for hip width apart. So if I imagine train tracks running across here, I want one foot on one and one foot on the other, so I'm about hip width apart. Now your bow stance, heel toe into that bow stance, it can be very small, so it's a shallow stance. The 2 feet are closer to each other in length, and that means that we can keep the body tall and the legs straighter. Now I'm going to rock my body weight backwards and forwards, but it's important again to take the time to think about the stance and the alignment of the body. And what you need to make sure is that this knee is staying over the ankle in a nice straight line here. This is a no-no. Don't have the knee coming over the toe and into an angle like this. It's really not a great position for your knee joint. So keep it small, keep it upright, and have about 70% of the weight forward. Now my back foot is still going to have some of the weight back there, so I feel nice and solid in the centre of this bow stance. Now as I rock back my weight, and we often do this movement in our walk or sometimes when we're moving from side to side, I want to make sure that again this knee is pointing in the direction of our toe. And again, it doesn't have to be a big rock back of weight so that I'm not loading this back leg with weight. So keeping it here and then moving it forwards nice and gently. So it really is quite a small transfer of weight, but nevertheless, the principle and technique is just the same, and we can visualize it a lot longer, a lot lower and deeper with that knee bend into bow stance. But this way we're protecting this knee, we're making sure the alignment is correct, we're not overbearing it with a big heavy load of body weight, and the same as we're going forwards, we're keeping this knee in a safe position. So this is the position that I would aim for if you're feeling you've got painful knees and yet you still want to practice your Tai Chi. Really train the mind to think about the alignment, think about the positioning, and that's really going to help protect your knees. So take it back and take it forwards. Now if I wanted to progress this as I'm feeling more comfortable, I would have to bring my front foot further forward so I could go deeper, because I want to still keep that knee in a safe position. Lifting up here, keeping light on top, and we're going to rock back and bring it forwards. Listening to the knees, listening to the body, and making sure that this suits us and suits our own limitations. And just practicing this transfer of weight, it really does improve your strength and improves your balance and body alignment, and it gets us aware of where our body is. So all these factors all start adding up. Okay, so I'm going to move around and let's practice that on the other side. So turning that back foot out to about 45 degrees and bringing the other foot forwards. Very small bow stance, heel toe. Let's check out my position. So I feel like I need my feet a bit further apart. I'm going for that hip width train tracks, keeping the posture tall. Think about my body, think about my posture, my alignment, the distribution of weight between the 2 feet, and then I can safely rock back, checking the knee is going in the direction of the toe and bringing it back, and my knee is not coming forwards over my toe. So I'm happy now. So I'm going to carry on this exercise, taking my time, transferring the weight nice and slowly. So I know these exercises may look really simple and like we're not doing anything, but if you really do get your mind involved, visualize a longer stride, a deeper knee bend, it all does help with our Tai Chi and with that building of strength to protect the knees, to make sure that we are practicing Tai Chi in a safe and comfy manner. Okay, so we're going to take this foot slightly further away so that I can deepen that knee bend, but I'm not going to go too far. And checking the knee, checking the other knee, keeping the body aligned. So it's a subtle transfer of weight, but it's still working my lower body. I can feel all the muscles engaged in this. And let's carry on, rocking back, and then we can step round. I'm going to turn my feet out here, and we're going to step into that bow stance forward. So again, if you start with your feet hip width apart, then all you're doing is moving your foot forwards. So we don't want it to be here, and we start trying to wobble and balance on a tightrope. We're looking for that hip width apart. Again, gauge the length of that stride, because that is going to affect how low you have to bend your knees. So I'm going to keep it small, and what I'm going to do is transfer the weight over to the foot here so I can release this foot forward. It doesn't have to come too far off the floor at all. I'm just doing a heel toe, and I'm going to transfer the weight. And I want to hit exactly the position that I was practicing before. I'm going to rock back. So again, checking the knee position and stepping to the side. I'm going to keep my foot turned out, and then I can slide across, get the weight here and heel toe and take it forwards. Checking the knees okay. And then I feel safe and comfy and confident that I'm positioning myself correctly. Heel toe. So what you want to be able to do in your Tai Chi practice is still look forwards or concentrate on whatever your hands are doing, but your body, your lower body, your legs and feet know with muscle memory where they are positioning, and it's that body awareness that helps our Tai Chi practice and helps gain all the benefits physically that Tai Chi can deliver to us. We're rocking back, stepping to the side, and again. So I'm really not bending my knees much at all, but I'm keeping them soft. I'm bending them a little bit. I can take that a little bit further by stepping out a little bit more. And then that means that the knee bend gradually goes a little bit deeper. But again, I'm just keeping it safe and comfy. Rocking back, stepping to the side. Let's do one more on each side. And heel toe. Rocking back, stepping to the side. Our final Tai Chi stance is going to be the empty stance. Turning out the foot slightly, I think, gives a wider base for your balance. Now it's again important to keep that knee aligned. We don't want to have it swiveling on the joint at all. And then we want to make sure that our body weight is right on top of the whole of the foot. Make sure you can spread your toes out and really feel the floor underneath you. Now I've kept my foot on the floor here. I'm going to bring it into that empty stance. And then what I'm going to do is just bring a little bit of my weight further forward. So I've got a little bit of weight, only a tiny bit, in this foot here. I also want to, let me just lift my big sweatshirt up. I want to make sure that my hips are aligned here. So I don't want to sit down on this hip. I want to pull it up and lift up through the crown. So it's important to have this nice stretched out body, light on top. And this will help lift the load, lift up the weight, and we're not pressing it down onto the knees. And now also concentrate on the core. So we want this core to be strong, part of our framework. We're pulling our belly button through to our spine to engage the abdominal muscles. And all I'm going to do is tap in and tap out. Now just a nice, keeping the knee almost where it is and just moving the toe forwards and back. Forwards. So I can feel myself really trying to balance on this supporting leg. You can always hold a chair next to you or have your hand positioned behind you here so that you've got your hands on the wall. But make sure that you're keeping everything aligned. And then we're going to step to the side. Okay, so let's do that on the other side. So again, good body positioning, body weight into the floor, into the foot. Feel that connection, but keep the hips aligned. So we're not sitting down on this hip, we're lifting up, core engaged. We're tapping here in front of us, a little bit of weight in that foot, and then we can tap in and tap out. Keep it very close to the floor. And then it's always there. And tapping in and tapping out. So just do a few of these repetitions and rest. Or keep going if it suits you. Again, listening to your body and just practice these simple exercises. And hopefully it will help with your enjoyment of your Tai Chi and enjoying movement and keeping active when we've got sore knees or painful knees or arthritis in our knees. Okay, so step into the side. Now I'm going to grab a chair for our final exercise, which I thought would be really good because it adds a leg extension. So just like magic, my chair appeared. I'm going to sit forwards I've put it on a diagonal, so hopefully you can see. I've sat forwards. I've only got short legs, so I need to sit quite far forwards for my feet to be firmly planted on the floor. I've got a sturdy chair. Now I want you to focus on your posture while you're sat in the chair. We're going to bring ourselves into our empty stance, and rather than tapping in and tapping out, we're going to lift this leg. And only by lifting, I mean really just straightening the knee joint. We don't want to lock the joint out. We just want to keep it straight but soft, and just as far as you can. You may only be here, that's fine. Visualize that bigger extension, and then we're going to tap it back down. When we lift the leg, we want to keep this posture tall, pulling belly button through to spine, lifting up through the crown. We're going to go again, so lifting up and tapping down. It's a leg extension, so we're extending the leg, we're bringing it down. Let's go again. And then let's swap feet. So nice position, keep the posture here, and we're going to lift up and tap down. And again, lifting up and tapping down, and lifting up and tapping down. You can repeat that set again to practice some more, but other than that, they're what I wanted to show you, an adaptation, Tai Chi modified to help with our painful knees. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Do take care when you're practicing your Tai Chi. It can really help build your strength, keep you active, even if you have painful joints. It's really good to keep moving, but obviously we've got to be safe and comfortable within the boundaries of our own body's limitations. So do take care, check out the rest of the playlist. I'll be adding more sessions to this, and I shall see you again for the next one.